Bronny James almost never responds to his haters, but this time he couldn't hold back. I see everything people are saying, and people think like I'm a robot, like I don't have any feelings or emotions. But how could he not have haters? This kid's only in the league because of his dad. Bronny's numbers in college were 5 points a game, 3 boards and 2 assists. Only other guys drafted in history with those numbers are Czech Diallo and Robertas Javtokas, who both had freakish physical tools. Bronny is 6'2" in shoes. But then, Bronny's stats in the G League this year, 21 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists, which is much better than every other level of basketball he's played. How is this possible? Bronny is getting better at the highest level. Just scored double digits for the first time in the NBA, and not only did he have this full court pass to Markieff Morris just like his dad would do, but Bronny legit crossed up Giannis, who then grabs Bronny's shoulder and it wasn't called. So with no foul, we would have had a Bronny crossover on Giannis bucket. What? How is Bronny getting better as a pro than he ever was before? Well, Bronny has been in the spotlight forever. Like in 4th grade, dude was getting scholarship offers from colleges, which his dad did not like. It's pretty crazy. It should be a violation. You shouldn't be recruiting 10-year-old kids, which is funny considering the crazy stuff LeBron would eventually say about his young kid. But Bronny landed at Sierra Canyon for high school, which was loaded with talent. Dwayne Wade's son Zaire, future NBA players Brandon Boston, Zaire Williams. So Bronny had to come off the bench. But in a nationally televised game against LeBron's alma mater, St. Vincent St. Mary, Bronny had a team-high 15 points with a steal and dagger bucket. Won game MVP in front of his parents and 13,000 fans. But it went downhill. Sierra Canyon was so loaded with talent, Bronny had to be a role player. He developed role player skills like on-ball defense, off-ball movement, and a high basketball IQ. Players like that are not supposed to go to big-time colleges. Oh, but if your name is LeBron Jr., I guess you can. Bronny was even the top NIL earner, making almost $6 million in his 1 year at USC. But then, he suffered cardiac arrest on the court at practice. Doctors said it was caused by a congenital heart defect, a terrible sign for his NBA dreams. Unless your name is LeBron Jr. Because despite his bad stats, Dad swooped in. Not only was Bronny drafted, he got a 4-year, $8 million contract on the franchise of his choosing because Rich Paul was threatening other NBA teams.
Saying, don't take him. If you take him, he's going to Australia.
Australia? So LeBron literally orchestrated every detail about his son's journey to the NBA. It's like the opposite of LeVar Ball because both LeVar and LeBron said crazy stuff about their kids, but LaMelo and Lonzo earned their way to the NBA. Bronny did not. And we all had to hear BS like this.
Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this.
Oh my God. And that kind of stuff created the haters for Bronny, even if he didn't deserve it. This is pathetic, spoiled rich kids. I mean, people are like, oh, why are you so hard on Bronny? This was why. And then it was announced he wouldn't play in G League road games. What? And that was finally too far. I mean, even Brian Windhorst said, I don't know whose idea this was, but I think it's gone too far now, and I don't think it benefits Bronny. So for the first time, Bronny's people listened. He played on the road for the first time December 12th against the Suns G League, and everything changed. Bronny went off for 30 points in just 25 minutes, hit threes, took contact in the lane, amazing defense. Came back down to earth the next 2 games, but on a Christmas trip to Cleveland, scored 38 total points in front of his grandparents. This year, Bronny has had games of 31, 30, 28, 24 and 6 assists, 23 and 5 assists. JJ Redick subbed him in against the Nuggets. He had a quick 3 over Nikola Jokic, then 17 against Giannis. So how did this happen? How did Bronny change his game to a scoring point guard at the highest level? Well, this will give you a new respect for Bronny James. The first thing that stands out in G League film is his quickness and explosiveness. Bronny is undersized at 6'2", but he's got the bounce to play above the rim. This makes him a very effective lob and cutting threat in the half court. If the defense falls asleep for a second or has a miscommunication, Bronny will slice for an easy 2. Part 2 of his game is ball handling. Dude's got an underrated handle. I mean, he's not Kyrie or anything, but Bronny has the ball control to string together moves and slice through traffic. Watch him here lose the defense with a simple jab step and shot fake, then explode to open space and gather the ball with a one-hand flush. That is his handle, quickness, and explosiveness all in one play. Part 3 is simple moves. Because Bronny has a good first step, he can keep most of his dribble moves pretty simple. If he gets ahead of steam going at the defense, he is tough to deal with in open space. I love this move here. Bronny can hesitate by skipping off that right foot, replant it, and push himself downhill. Now, this play obviously went viral for the facial dunk, but watch how Bronny first sets up the drive by refusing a screen with this crossover to a simple dribble and punch it in. And many of these skills translated to his NBA minutes. Now, I'm not saying he's a high-level NBA creator yet, but again, if he has space to work with, he has for sure got the game to put it down and generate good offense. So the big question is, where was this in college? Well, his college limitations. From what we have seen so far, Bronny does best in pace and space, which college offenses generally do not have. Very little space at USC, and on top of that, defenses have the luxury of sitting in the paint without having to worry about defensive 3-second calls. So Bronny couldn't be in transition, limited off the ball with no space, defense crowds the paint, turned him into a standard spot-up shooter. But speaking of his shot, honestly, it's the weirdest part of his game. If you asked me if he's a good shooter like a month ago, I would have said no, he's terrible. 26% in college, 15% in summer league. But over the last few weeks, the shot's starting to fall. His percentages from deep now in the G League are over 36%. But the most important thing right now for Bronny is he's got really good shooting mechanics. I don't see a reason he can't shoot in the high 30s or low 40s from 3. And oh, by the way, my favorite part about his game against the Bucks had nothing to do with on the court. It was an answer he gave to the media. It was advice to his younger brother, Bryce, but it actually explains how Bronny got through this crazy rookie year with all the critics, but still came out on top.
To just have that mindset of working, because there's, a lot of kids out there that, want to be in my spot or his spot, and you can't take that for granted. So yeah, just keep working.
Yes, and that's exactly what Bronny did. He's not acting like a victim because of all the haters. He's combining humility with talent, which is a great recipe for success. So was LeBron right, and Bronny is better than like half the guys in the NBA? No, but maybe his ceiling as an NBA role player isn't actually crazy. He developed those skills at Sierra Canyon, and he's not overwhelmed by the spotlight because he's been in it his entire life. But the hype was so big because of his dad, it created unrealistic expectations. But now he is doing the impossible, and his rookie year was actually a success. But there's even more hype somehow around Cooper Flagg. Right now he's playing for Duke in the NCAA tournament. But if he doesn't win, there's a chance that he skips the NBA draft and goes back to college. Now that was a rumor a while back and it seemed kind of flimsy, but lately it's getting pretty serious.